That down, let's move on to this, shall we? You know, one of the things that got people really pumped in the theaters about when watching The Batman, and I thought The Batman was great. I don't think as good as Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight, but I think it's one of the best iterations of Batman we ever saw on screen. I loved this movie. Paul Dano as Riddler and all that kind of stuff. But one of the big pops in theater was when Barry Keoghan popped up as, they never said it, but what was clearly the Joker. And then that deleted scene got released. And that was a great, I mean, I'm glad it got cut from the movie. It didn't have to be in the movie, but it was a great scene. It was a really cool scene. Well, now it looks like Matt Reeves's Batverse, now under James Gunn, Matt Reeves has kind of been expanding out this Gotham universe, and we've got the Penguin, which is amazing. If you guys haven't been watching the Penguin, of course, it's final episode. That's the thing that sucks. Final episode this Sunday, but whatever. We talked about a week or two ago about the fact that word came out that Warner Brothers is actually looking at continuing to expand this Gothamverse that they have. And now, according to the Insider, of course, done by our friend Jeff Snyder, it looks like the next series up is going to be a Joker series with Barry Keoghan. This comes to us from Screen Rant, who wrote the following. The Insider has revealed that The Batman spinoff series focused on Barry Keoghan's Joker is in the works, with the project set between The Batman Part 2 and The Batman Part 3. It has not been made clear if the project is being developed for HBO, for HBO or Max. Guys, they're interchangeable. They're the same thing. For HBO or Max, Keoghan's Joker would return for a brief role in the Batman Part 2 story to set up the spinoff. The report brings along some interesting possibilities for the future of the Batman universe, including the Joker's role in the finale of Robert Pattinson's The Batman trilogy. Okay. Couple of thoughts. On the one hand, I can already hear the people saying, I think some people in the live chat might be saying it too. It's like, really? They got to do the Joker again? And to a degree, I agree. But it is really difficult to have a Batman without Joker at some point. I mean, hey, I thought Matt Reeves did a great job by not launching his Batman series with Joker, instead going with Riddler. I thought that was great. Then they just peppered in a little tease of Joker. Now we've got an entirely new Penguin series. And now, according to this report, if Jeff is right, Batman 2 won't even focus on Joker either, but rather might just be peppered in there. So we literally wouldn't be getting a true full Joker until in between Batman 2 and Batman 3, which sets it up well. So I think that's so the whole idea about using Joker. But here's the other thing. Every time they've done Joker, it's been a radically different iteration of Joker. I've said this all the time. Heath's Joker was very different than Jack's Joker. And Jack's Joker was very different than Jared's Joker. And Jared's Joker was very different than Joaquin's Joker. And all their Jokers were very different from the animated Joker. And even just from that brief glimpse we've got of Barry in the first The Batman, this is also another completely different Joker. So it's not like they're just recycling the character. I mean, they're always giving something new and a fresh take on the character. And it looks like they'll do that here as well. I don't know how I would feel about this if I wasn't watching Penguin right now. Like, let's say Penguin, the show, didn't exist, and we just suddenly got this news that there's going to be a Joker series. I don't know how I'd feel about it.
I don't think I'd be into it.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'd be all that excited about it either. Maybe I would. I just don't know. But we do live in a world where we have a Penguin series.
Sure.
And I look at what they have been able to do with that series and how good that series is. And again, it's HBO and Max. And that, I have to say, makes me, on top of the fact that Barry is just a world-class actor, I didn't particularly love, what's the movie he just did? He got
Saltburn.
Saltburn. I didn't particularly love Saltburn.
I hate Saltburn so much.
Oh, come on.
But
I hate it.
Hate is such
got
a strong word.
so much Oscar attention. And regardless of what you think about the movie, oh my God, Barry Keoghan was so good in it. All that combined makes me read this and go, hell yes. If Jeff is correct. And listen, Jeff has been responsible for breaking some of the biggest stories we've had over the last couple of years. But Jeff is also sometimes fed wrong information. So there have been some stories he's broken that's not turned out. So take all that with that grain of salt, that we still have to take this as possibility. But if this report is correct, I got to tell you, in light of The Batman and in light of how good Barry is, and in light of how amazing the Penguin has been, planting a Joker series in between Batman's 2 and 3, I think is great. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Life 360 Tile Trackers. With the holidays right around the corner, it's all about family, fun, and of course, keeping track of everything while traveling or hosting. For me, that's where Life 360's Tile Trackers are an absolute lifesaver. These little things help keep the holiday stress in check. Whether I'm tracking my keys, wallet, or even our luggage when we travel, Tile Trackers make it easy to keep tabs on everything important. Just open the Tile app to ring it when it's nearby, or track down its location on the map if it's a bit farther. I had mentioned this one time I went to a poker tournament in Vegas, and I keep everything, my wallet, my tablet, and stuff like that, in this satchel backpack of mine, and I thought I lost it. I went crazy for hours until I finally realized I had left it in the car. If I had had Tile Tracker, it would have made my life a lot simpler. And here's one of the things I love about Tile. Tile syncs with Life 360, so I can see the location of my family members and all of our tiled items in one spot. So make your holidays a little less stressful and family-proof your season with Life 360's Tile Trackers. Visit tile.com and use the code Campea to get 15% off. That's tile.com. Use the code Campea. The one drawback, Chris, I have to it, though, the one thing I don't like so much, is that probably means we wouldn't get a Penguin season 2 till at least after Batman 3. Yeah. But I don't know. Anyway, you read about this. What's your thoughts?
I was one of the people who, when Barry Keoghan showed up in The Batman, I went, oh, okay.
Really? It didn't work for you?
No, it didn't. And I understand if you're excited about this. Also, I just want to point out in the chat real quick, I think this encapsulates Saltburn so well. Back to back, we have Saltburn is overrated. Saltburn was great. There's two schools of thoughts. The ending, I think, ruined that movie. But if you love it, good for you. I love that for you. This is my issue with doing a Joker series. And we talked about this when it was first announced, of doing more Batman's Rogues Gallery TV shows.
In this Gotham
universe.
Yeah.
It needs to be earned. It needs to be earned. And I want to know why somebody gets a spinoff. Oz earned that show. Oswald Cobblepot went, oh my gosh, this absolute D-lister of a character deserves a show. He's so interesting and so fascinating. And what we have going for us here, at least, is that this is a Gotham in which Batman has already tangoed with the Joker. He's already put him in Arkham. So we've got a backstory that we can go to and see how that all unfolded, or see Joker currently in Arkham, how he's trying to run the place, how he's trying to play, 4D chess from behind those walls, etc., etc. But I know that they would do a great job with this. I'm very confident they would. But it feels very, very early. Just go, and he gets a series. I know everyone knows who the Joker is. I understand that every person who is aware of Batman knows that Joker is the other counterpart here. But I kind of want to explore those other villains. I would love to do some kind of Court of Owls. I would love Mr. Freeze. Ober and Sexton, if we wanted to do something really obscure. I think there's a lot of really cool stuff. Professor Pig exists in this world so easily and beautifully. Yep. And I understand the appeal of wanting the big fish that's the Joker and taking your spin on it and making it your own, as all these other directors have, to your point earlier. But I feel like there's so many cool things that you can do and explore, and Joker feels like the easy choice almost, of just, well, we know everyone likes that character and knows that character, so let's do that. And you obviously have a great talent behind it. You've got, an incredible Oscar-nominated actor in the role already. I just don't know how I feel about immediately greenlighting a show about it. It's just a little early.
To be fair, though, this won't come out until after Batman.
See, that's what I was going to bring up. The whole idea about earning it is that because he's so good when he's on screen,
he may take on the.
We sometimes forget that Colin Farrell didn't actually have a lot of screen time in the Batman, right?
Sure.
And if their plan is to give us Batman 2 and give us just enough of that Joker, that will then set him up for the series, much like the Batman set up Penguin for his series. That's theoretical in theory.
Sure.
I agree with you that you have these rich characters like, Pig and all these others. I actually think, though, I wonder, though, if to truly be able to appreciate those characters, I almost feel like you have to understand Joker's place in Gotham first. Like, if you understand that this is a Gotham that Joker exists, and it's within that Gotham that we have Professor Pig, and we have, I don't know if you'd want to do KGB, so that's one I've been pushing for a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Or Court of Owls, there have been tiny Court of Owl hints in Penguin, by the way.
Yeah.
If you've been paying attention.
That's why I really want it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think almost first, like, establishing Joker is an important part of establishing Gotham. Maybe. So I guess it all depends on their approach. Because if they can set him up the way as good as they set up Oz in the first Batman, in the second one leading into the series, could be great. But I agree with you. I think if they don't do a good job of that in the second Penguin, it may misfire for them going into a series.
Absolutely. And I have confidence in this creative team, right? They've given us a fabulous world to live in. I love this version of Gotham. I love these versions of these characters. I just want to make sure that they stay the course and keep delivering on this, so that we don't have a fantastic, juicy character like this kind of wasted, especially if you want to build up to some of those other characters or dive into a world where we can effectively do Hush on screen or something like that.
I lean towards Hush for a while. My only issue, and that's one of my favorite stories, actually. The problem is that we already kind of touched that with Riddler, because he acted like he knew he was Bruce Wayne.
Exactly.
It's just that then they were like, oh no, he didn't know he was Bruce Wayne. I mean, which also relates to other runs, but I'm like, we've already done that now, so I don't want to threaten, like, because then I would also think about Arkham, the second Arkham video game, the Doctor. Why am I going blank on the Doctor?
Hugo Strange?
Strange knew. So we've already like done that. So then I was thinking, what if it's like Hugo Strange and it's Joker in Arkham and he's our link to other characters like the Rogues Gallery, and the whole time he's kind of playing like a sort of like a Silence of the Lambs, kind of helping out Batman, but this is really 4D chessing himself out of Arkham.
Yeah.
And that's where we lead into the third. Maybe something like that could work. I don't know.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
There's some people in live chat saying things like, oh, Deathstroke.
Nah, I don't know.
Deathstroke, remember, this is a year 2 Batman.
Yeah.
Deathstroke's not a character you bring in with Batman until Batman is a veteran of doing what he's doing.
It's early days.
And something, what about Robin? Oh God, please don't do something as stupid as Robin.
Also,
Anyway.
to the chat's point in here too, a couple people are saying that, we need to rehab the character or change up the character after Folie à Deux. That was a totally different Joker. That's a totally different universe.
Yep.
And I say that as a person who's not a big fan of that universe. I think they're apples and oranges.
But you know what? To that point,
Yeah.
I think maybe now that you brought that up, I wonder if part of my enthusiasm for this idea of a Joker is because I want a different Joker than the one we
You just
just
gotta
got.
So
Doing
that's
that old
something
one.
I was going to touch on when we first brought up this segment, is that, people, whether you like him or not, people were kind of disappointed with Leto's performance, but now the DCU is gone anyway.
True.
And now with Joker 2, it's like, well, we have all these successful Jokers. Well, now Joker 2 kind of screwed the pooch on that one. So I think people's tastes are now looking for a Joker they can get behind.
Oh, that's fair. Okay.
And if you could look, there are still, as much as every Joker we've gotten has been a very different iteration, you could already tell that this one will be a much darker Joker, I think. I mean, I'm basing that on like 45 seconds of screen time, so it could be totally wrong. But I feel like this Barry Keoghan Joker would be a much darker, more murdery Joker.
Now, is that Arkham series still coming out?
No, as far as I know,
that was
no.
canceled, right? That
Yeah.
would have been a great setup.
But
for
even
this,
that,
for this Joker,
even
right?
that was set for the DCU, not for a
right,
Reeves
okay.
world.
So, no, remember Reeves? They were looking.
Reeves was
I
behind it.
Yeah, they were looking at something like that. So, anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? If the reports are true, what do you think about the idea of them setting up a Joker series in the vein of the Penguin series, but it takes place between the events of the second Batman movie that's still coming and the third Batman movie? I gotta tell you, I kind of really like it because I like the possibilities what we see with Barry Keoghan. But to Chris's point, there's arguments to be made that there's other rich characters they can use as well. Maybe it's not time yet. Who knows? Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.